Today, Bob, what do you want to talk about?
Today, we are going to talk about a very topical subject matter. It is relevant to people our age. It's relevant to everybody. And then we figured we would jump on the coattails of the Diddy talk.
And you know that anybody who's listened to us for 100 episodes knows how we feel about trafficking, about abuse, about rape, about unconsensual sex. Like, fuck off, bro. Like,
And also about two things. Abusing your power, which when you get that wealthy, you have a lot of power, and also being corrupted by that same thing. How it just seems like it happens.
This is Epstein 2.0.
Yep.
It's now Epstein for the rap community.
But the thing we wanted to kind of tie it in together is to a wonderful film which was very polarizing at the time, 1999.
This movie, bro.
It is now looked at as one of his classics. And we wanted to tie that into Eyes Wide Shut by Stanley Kubrick, his last film before he died.
Well, he died making it.
Yep, he died making it.
47 minutes floating around.
Yep.
That a lot of rich people did not want anyone to see, which is why he died after the first screening. No one finds that strange, huh?
Yep. And everything about Stanley Kubrick is fascinating, though, because I think it was it after A Clockwork Orange or around A Clockwork Orange? That's when he left and went to move to the UK.
Yeah.
Like he said, fuck Hollywood. Hollywood is full of fucked up people. I am going to England. I am going to make these movies. They know I can make them bank. They're going to have to come to me.
Yeah.
And that's what he did for the rest of his career.
That's why he had a handful of films that are all fucking masterpieces.
Yeah. And when I say this, I want to be very, very clear.
Before we get deeper, so I'm going to forget this. So I'm watching a fucking video on Eyes Wide Shut. And while we're texting, and this motherfucker's like, Eyes Wide Shut. While I'm watching a video. I hadn't watched a video on that movie in years, but something just, the red pool tables, something always brings me back to that fucking film. And it's a confessional, dude.
The Zennial Odyssey podcast, where we discuss life from the point of view of people born in the late 1970s to the early to mid 1980s. We discuss growing up analog and navigating adulthood in a digital world. Please come join us as we look to uncover what it actually means to be a Zennial.
Yeah, I don't think it's a confession and a indemnification.
Oh, 100%.
And what I was going to talk about was if you just step back and you look at Stanley Kubrick, I don't know how you feel, Rem. You are into cinema just as much as I am. I will be generous. Is it fair to say he's one of the three best He's one of the three best directors in the history of the art form?
Yeah, I would even argue that a lot of people can sit down and maybe not find one better.
Because I mean, I said in top three because if I'm biased, I'm going to say he's the greatest.
Well, that's how I feel.
He's the greatest. And for anyone who's wondering, this is how I base it off of three things: your ability to tell a story, your ability to actually direct, and also that involves like coaching up the actors,
of course,
and it also involves like what are you doing as far as cinematography? How innovative are you? And he checks all the boxes.
I would have given that to Ridley Scott.
Yeah.
Before he started sequeling Aliens and sequeling Gladiator and stuff, I thought that all of his work was along those lines.
I think the last great movie he did was Kingdom of Heaven.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, it's a beautiful film. But just to give you an idea about Stanley Kubrick, though, Barry Lyndon.
Yeah.
Do you know he reached out to NASA for those cameras?
Really?
Because he wanted to give the feel of the 1700s. And so he needed cameras that could get low light exposure.
And thus, the rumors started that he filmed the moon landing.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he had a direct line to fucking NASA.
2001: A Space Odyssey, the line to Sir Arthur C. Clarke, one of the great astrophysicists
of all
time. And then on top of that, he made 2001: A Space Odyssey, which some people to this day, they don't know how he did some of the special effects, which brilliant for like 1968.
Flawless.
But the other thing that I love that he did is he didn't early on he made like detective things, and then like Past the Glory is when he starts to change, and then after that he's like, well, I want to go here and here, and he literally is going everywhere. He was in science fiction, he was in detective novels, he did Lolita, he did the original Lolita.
I know, fucking crazy.
And the other thing I love about him is he was always on the edge.
Yeah.
which is what makes a great artist.
And working with him was hell.
Yeah. Just ask the late great Shelley Duvall.
40, 50 takes for a scene, but you get masterpieces.
Yeah, he forced her to watch Jack get himself psyched up.
Yeah, I've seen that footage. It's
for
crazy.
For the Here's Johnny scene from The Shining. But we're way off. But let's go back to Eyes Wide Shut.
Well, no, before we even do that, let's talk Diddy, and then let's go back to Eyes Wide Shut.
That's fine. That's fine.
All right, so this Diddy thing happens, right? For those not following, which I know everyone is, Puff Daddy was a monster. He was doing, come to find out, he was doing the exact same thing that Jeffrey Epstein was doing. He was
and then Weinstein and just add in whoever. Yeah.
All the freak offs that Diddy would have, essentially, he would lock people in rooms with drugs and condoms and tell them you ain't coming out till all those condoms are used. Crazy shit. But he would get prostitutes, fucking animals, kids and shit, and he would film it. Every one of his fucking rooms had a camera. And that way, if you ever went at Puff Daddy and you were like, yo, bro, you just took $1 million from me for the contract and you were supposed to get 0.5, he can be like, well, here's footage of you fucking Aaliyah when she was 17. You know what I'm saying? So,
by the way, do we now see why all of the celebrities and all of the artists, like Usher and Jay-Z and everyone, they're not just distancing themselves, they're erasing stuff that links them
but you
to
fucked
each other.
up.
I know they did. I'm just saying, do we see how they're all like,
of course. What I'm hearing a lot, which is pissing me off to no end, is, let me get in character. Yeah, man. I mean, I went to Puffy parties, but I left before that shit happened.
Fuck you. Fuck off.
Bro, Marlon Wayans, fucking so many motherfuckers have come out and said that. And it's like, no, you didn't. You went to the parties for that shit because when that was happening in the early thousands, there was no hint that Me Too was going to happen, motherfucker. Rappers used to fuck bitches like they was dogs,
Listen
bro.
to what all the people who used to be the background dancers and stuff in hip-hop videos used to say.
They were basically trafficked. They were there to fuck the celebrities, dude. That whole fucking industry is full of sex. And for a long time, that was okay. You could fuck your fans. You could do this, but you can't do that shit, man. And let's circle this back to something I know, okay? We're talking about the abuse of power.
Yep.
I had a website that was fucking huge. People will never understand the scale of it.
RemyCarrero.com. 'Tis better than bacon.
Bro, bless your soul. You weren't there, so you won't know. I had fans. I had Remlins. I had branded fans. So many of these fans were females. Y'all need to understand that. So many. So many of these women would write me letters, bro. On God, I never touched a fan, never kissed a fan, never asked for a nude of a fan. Do you know why? Because you can't fucking do that, bro. You're in a position of power to them. You're a teacher or a fucking someone, a mentor. They look up to you. They like your writing, whatever. They're connected to you. So you're abusing power. Of course, if you were like, hey, pretty girl from fucking Detroit, send me a picture of your titties, fly out, we can fuck. It would not have been hard for me to do. And on God, I never did that shit. And this was before Me Too, bro.
Yep.
And it was because I understood, dude. I understood. You just, it's fucked up. Like, you remember that Atlantis documentary when the dude, the drummer who died, Taylor, was like, yeah, we used to take girls onto the stage and fuck them. Like fucking 16, 17-year-old girls. And when Milanis found out, she fired them all, bro. Like, it was known that you fuck and you fuck whoever wants to fuck. That's over, bro.
And I remember how much light they made of, because like Def Leppard talked about that in their Behind the Music. They said that that's when the drummer would go out there and just do a solo.
Yep.
And sometimes the singer would come out and the rest of the band would be fucking moms and their daughters.
Van Halen famously, their fucking security would take women out and put them backstage for them.
For Mr. Diamond Dave.
Mr. Diamond
piece
Dave.
Of most, we could do an own song about that piece of shit too.
Yeah, just a slime ball.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But let's stick with Diddy.
So the Diddy thing, it appeared out of nowhere, but it didn't appear out of nowhere. We didn't know because we're fucking out here and we're naive and shit. You know what I'm saying? But the people there all knew. This is footage of Kevin Hart at one. You ever see that footage when that girl's in the bathtub?
No.
This is how crazy it is, right? He's in a bathroom doing stand-up, just filled with half-naked women, right? One's in a bathtub, and her head catches on fire, bro, because there are candles next to the tub. Yo, devil shit, motherfucker. Devil shit. But, like, so you're talking about people getting so inebriated that they're just blacked out. People getting raped, bro. People getting raped. And here's the thing about Diddy that's fucked. This is the part that got everybody fucked up. He fucks dudes, bro. He fucks dudes with that power. Any famous dude that got a contract with him now, it's very much implied. Like, there are videos you can find. There's this weird video of Justin Bieber in the club. Have you seen that one?
Yes, I have.
Sucking that dude's dick, bro. Fuck, man. He's a kid. Or that video of Puff Daddy when he's with fucking Justin when he's like fucking 14. He's like, yeah, I got this kid for the next 2 days. He's going to do some shit that other teenagers only dream about. No, you're turning that boy out, bro. You're passing him. You can see when he signs to the Diddy contest, when he signs and he's on stage, Puff Daddy rips his shirt open and shit. And like, he's like there naked on stage and like, bro. So it's been a bunch of weird, creepy, homosexual shit that he's forced these dudes to do too. You know, there's just so many rumors now that like when he had fucking Usher at his camp when he was a kid, he was turning Usher out. When he had Bieber for months, he was turning Bieber out, bro. And like this footage of, you see the footage of him when he's patting down Bieber for The Wire?
Yep.
Bro, they just bump into each other and you see Diddy puts him in like a fucking headlock and he's whispering to him. And he's checking his chest for a while.
I like the one about him and Mike Tyson on that. I like that one.
No, it takes a lot for Mike to get freaked out.
Yeah, Mike was shook. If you can't see it, Mike Tyson, one of the most terrifying people in his prime, was shook.
Sitting next to Diddy, right? And you can see that Diddy keeps putting his hand on his leg. And then Tyson.
But how about Tyson? That was pretty smooth how he handled
he's like, it really is all about the Benjamins.
Yeah.
And he points at
Look
his
at
watch.
that throwback.
Then he puts it, Diddy's hand back in Diddy's lap, and Diddy immediately puts it back. That motherfucker.
That's the equivalent of literally having someone put their hand in your back pocket.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
and that's a pit bull. And even Mike was like, I can't hit this guy. I can't hit this guy. He's too powerful.
I could hit this guy, but I won't make it I won't make it off the stage alive.
No, for real, dude. And so that's the issue now. And so what you have is you have Diddy in jail, you know, and you have all this shit coming out. But let's be real, bro. We were already here with Epstein.
Yeah. And Weinstein.
Yeah,
and
no lists. Listen, no lists are going to come out.
It's endless.
Dude, no lists are going to come out from this. The thing that frustrates me the most, right, is that
he's either going to kill himself.
It's going to be an Epstein, bro.
Yeah.
Based on the amount of footage he has and how many people he has, all those motherfuckers have people in prison. They do.
Do you think the powers that be behind the scenes are literally like doing the equivalent of flipping a coin to see what they're going to do with them?
No, you want to know what I think's happening right now?
What's
Truthfully, I'm going to be completely honest. I'm super jaded, and I know that.
Okay.
But what I think's happening right now is when they raided his house, they got all that footage. That's why it was vans and vans and vans and vans and vans. Now, they told everybody they took lube out of that house. They're not going to confiscate lube.
I love this. I'm glad you finally brought this up because I was going to ask you about this.
Bro, it's the stupidest. Everyone's joking this week, right? Oh, Diddy's house is full of lube. Why would you remove lube, dude? It's not illegal. It's obtained legally. That's not lube they took out of the house.
Well, maybe it's because of what else is in the lube.
That's what I think. I don't think the lube is lube. I think the lube has MDMA in it. I think it has GBH in it. I think it has Cosby drugs in it, bro. And I think when you use that lube, you get fucked up. They wouldn't confiscate bottles of lube. There's no reason.
Because when you posted that, and my immediate thought was back to what is now a disgusting Conan interview. That interview he did with Conan talking about his parties.
Yep.
And how he said you got to have things prepared for everybody. You got to have beautiful women. You got to have alcohol. You have to have water because if they don't want to drink alcohol, you have to have something.
Yeah.
Come on now. But also, if you're offering people like, Jay, just like, come on, let me just get you a free massage. Listen, there are some drugs that are easily absorbed through the skin.
Oh my God. Even LSD, bro, you can easily dose someone. And then they're just, you're getting your titties sucked and it feels good because you're high. Then you wake up the next day covered in fucking loads and shit. And you're like, oh my God. You say, Diddy, what the fuck happened? He's like, this, I have it all on tape. You fucked a dog. You want this shit to get out? And I mean an actual dog, bro. Those motherfuckers are fucked up. But, and so now, too, you get that line from Eminem. What did he say? He says, I got so many essays. I'm the greatest rapper ever. You take the P off, right? And then he says, I didn't just say rapper and take off the P, did he?
Yeah.
And then he goes
genius.
Then he goes right into rest in peace, Tupac and Biggie, because Puff Daddy had those hits.
I always thought that. And I know, do you remember, I don't know if it was through Newgrounds or stickdeath.com.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both visionary websites back in the late 90s.
Yeah, they were.
But there was a game where you had to use something to try to kill Diddy.
Yeah.
And Diddy had like a monster truck or whatever. And if he beats you, he literally at the end, whoever made it was just like, say hi to my friend Biggie in hell. And I was like, oh, maybe
but
he
you
did.
sent
Maybe
your
he did
boy
have
to
Biggie
hell.
Yeah, maybe he did.
100%, bro. He's been behind, and that's the thing is people have slowly realized he tried to kill Kid Cudi, my motherfucker, bro, my favorite dude, because Cassie, after she was done getting her ass beat by P. Diddy, which we all saw, let's not talk about that.
Yep.
Because that shit upset me a lot. She was dating Kid Cudi. And then one day while he was with her at her fucking in their house eating dinner, bro, out in his driveway, $80,000 car. To bits, dog, to bits.
When Michael Clayton. Have you seen that movie? George Clooney?
No, I don't think I have.
Oh, it's a great movie. It's a great movie. But they blow up his car because they try to kill him. Yeah.
Like
it's the same thing. Terrifying.
And fucking Cudi was like, sorry, Cassie, like, you cool, you're beautiful, but this isn't a game I'm playing.
Like, I want to help you, but not at the expense of my life.
Yeah, I'm not one of these motherfuckers. I'm not a thug, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like, so he's just been doing this shit, dude. And so what we're hoping is there are going to be some other terrible people outed, you know? Like, there's a lot of rumors right now going around about a lot of people. Like Jay-Z and Beyonce. Come on, man.
Yeah.
You trust those motherfuckers, really? Those Satan-worshiping, money-worshiping, white people-worshiping motherfuckers?
I'm sorry, what is her sister's name?
Solange.
And do we find it a coincidence in hindsight 2020, looking back on that video in the elevator? Beating the shit out of Jay-Z?
Of course not,
and
dude.
Nobody touching her?
Yep. She knows some shit, my dude.
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised if she vanished. But it's crazy because now every year there's a sex scandal, and it's not.
It is like that now.
And it's not. They're not normal. No. It's not like, oh, remember when the big sex scandal was like Tiger Woods cheating on his wife or something?
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
And she's beating his car with the girl in it with the club, and everyone's like, and it opens up these rabbit holes to his sex addictions. And then the stories, which I think are fucking, I would love to have just been there. The stories of him and Michael Jordan being in back rooms at Vegas casinos.
Spending hundreds of millions.
Where the small blind is $2.5 million and the big blind is $5 million. A hand.
Just for fun.
Yeah. Like people, like.
That's what Bruno Mars is going through right now.
Like people, and that's like, I always look at them because they reached their mountaintop and there was nothing else.
Yeah.
What do? Michael Jordan even like talks about it. Like he talks about going golfing with friends and then being like, hey, 40 grand if I can hole in one this hole.
Yeah, but you know what's crazy? Then he owes a couple billion, then his dad dies. That's what I'm saying.
Yep. Yeah. He did not go away from the NBA willingly to go play baseball. No, he was told to go away. Then
you have that crazy time when fucking Bill Cosby's son was changing a tire and got his throat slit.
Got fucking murdered on the side of the highway.
Because they know. They're like, sorry, bro. This is because your dad fucked up.
Listen, we may not be able to get the person, but we can hurt them.
Yeah, we
can hurt them. Yep.
So I mean, that's what it's just been. It's been this big revelation about like this crazy rape factory that he was running.
And I like how you just put that, by the way. But now if we tie it back into everybody. That's why we wanted to bring in the parallel of Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah.
Rem, would you like to kind of summarize Eyes Wide Shut? I know that's easier said than done.
Yeah, no.
But just focus on the stuff that's topical.
Okay, so you have a very rich couple in Hollywood. He's a doctor, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And so it all starts with them at this really lush party. And like the first thing that happens is a man's trying to seduce the wife. And two women are trying to seduce the husband.
Mm-hmm.
And they both kind of avoid it or whatever. And then what's crazy is this is Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman.
While they're still married.
While they were still married, but at the end of their relationship, essentially, which was already dissipating, right?
They started the divorce proceedings within, 6 months of the movie?
The film?
Of the movie coming out, yeah.
And like crazy. She's like naked in it and shit. And like, they smoke a joint. I always thought that scene was so natural. That's like how couples smoke joints. They were just sitting there smoking a joint. But she tells him that she had met a man who she was having fantasies about cheating with.
Mm-hmm.
And it spirals him basically to go on a night-long journey through the underbelly of Hollywood. And the things that he experiences is shit that we're not even allowed to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
They
went to a themed party, or he went to a themed party.
Well, that's still way ahead. Right?
I know
it
is. I
mean, you have him initially going to the costume place.
Oh, even before that, the person who gives him the invite, the piano player.
But like, no, but what about the daughter at the costume
I know, because it comes after. Because he tells him, because remember, the pianist tells him, you have to, your suit is fine, but you have to get a cape and you have to get a mask.
Oh, and we missed something big. We fucked up. I fucked up.
No, it's fine.
At said party that I mentioned at the beginning, he gets called upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
One of his friends, a fellow doctor, he comes in a room and the woman's, she's naked, legs open. She's fucking like 90% dead.
Because she's ODing, right?
She's ODing, right? Of course, because she's drugged to get fucked by this creepy doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And And when he comes upstairs, like the dude's getting dressed. He has no pants on and like suspenders. It's a really sexually aggressive, like, and he's just like, yeah, she kind of just died while I was fucking her. And Tom Cruise is like, this is a thing that can happen.
We can't let her die.
No.
And the guy's kind of like,
the guy's like, I think we can.
he's like Drago.
Yeah.
If she dies, she dies.
She dies. And Cruise is like, no. And he like does some shit and saves her, gets her name and shit. And they have a interaction and she's like, thank you and shit.
Yeah.
And the doctor's like, you didn't see anything here tonight, motherfucker. You know? So then they go home. So he's already been led into the fact that there is creepy shit going on. And then, dude, the whole night is like a surreal fever dream.
Yeah.
Like, he goes to the bar, the piano player gives him the invite to this weird sexy orgy thing.
Or Fidelio? Whatever the password was. Fidelio.
Because I always took it as fidelity, like infidelity or fidelity.
Genius on Kubrick's part.
Of course, man. The guy thinks on fucking, he was just miles ahead of everyone. So he's really disturbed that his wife wanted to cheat. Like, and if you've never humored the thought and you find that out, it's rough, man. And he decides to just go out. And I think part of his thing is like, well, then I'm going to go out and cheat on her. I think that's the initial thing. But then he's like starting to realize he goes to the rainbow place. The whole theme of the movie is under the rainbow, beyond the rainbow.
Yep.
That's what the two girls at the party say. He's like, oh, where do you want to go? And she's like, we want to take you to where the rainbow ends. So there's all this Oz fucking analogies being made. And he's at this costume place, and like this dude, the fucking owner, basically is selling his daughter.
He's basically
sexually.
trafficked his daughter. And if that's not fucked up enough,
it's Lily Sobieski.
Yeah, but not just. I mean, she was underage at the time,
Yeah.
and she goes over to Tom Cruise and she whispers something in his ear. We never know what it is, but she probably propositioned him.
Yeah,
yeah.
And he's like shaking. There's like there's a half naked Asian guy who's clearly just fucking her.
Yeah,
and it's like, and he's like, you just basically, it's called Eyes Wide Shut because all this stuff is going on right next to his house and in his life, and he had no idea. Which takes him, of course. There's other moments he's getting followed the whole night by these weird, creepy, like vampire-looking dudes in trench coats. Goes to the party. They ask for a password. He gives the password. What we don't know is he gives the wrong because there was supposed to be a second.
Well, I think this is how I interpret it. Even though everyone's wearing something, the people running the party know everybody there.
100%.
And so they can kind of tell, first off, that he got dropped off by a taxi. Like, these are people who are rolling in like limos. These are people rolling in like the ultimate of luxury. And there's a dude in like a taxi. It's
very much implied that these people at this party are the highest members of our society.
Yes.
Our living society right now. And they're having a masked orgy. And it was actually pretty graphic. What one thing the studio did is after he died, they edited CG people into the orgy. Yeah. Blocking crotches and hump shots.
Yep.
So you can see two people humping, but there's someone standing in front of them with a creepy mask. It's unfortunate. Art shouldn't be trifled with. He wanted the scene to be graphic because he wanted people to
the power.
Be very uncomfortable.
And by the way, how about the lighting?
Dude, the whole movie is a fucking painting.
How about the lighting in that scene when everyone's wearing... Like, I always go back to...
Demonic.
How Tom Cruise's face looks. Because it's only a half mask. You can still see his mouth, but because of the lighting, it all blends together. And it just has this very, like, flat, opaque... And everyone has that look, like everyone's dead.
When they're fucking, it's bright, and it's like... There's, like, flames, and there's leather, and then suddenly it goes to, like, almost black and white.
Yeah.
Because it's just the mask. And the masks are horrifying. I actually ordered one. $150... Got it from Europe and everything. Ordered the proper mask from Eyes Wide Shut. Yeah, I should have brought it.
It would have been great.
It's fucking in the scene for 1 minute. It's just one of the dudes in the audience.
Yeah.
But it's creepy. The whole thing feels so fucking. You know you're not supposed to be there. And here's the thing, like, so we'll get to it, right? They figure out that Tom Cruise. They're like, you're not supposed to.
But then don't forget the lady who took him aside.
He saved.
Yeah, who he saved, and she's wearing a mask. He doesn't really know who she is, and she tells him, "You're in danger."
She's like, dude, you fucked up. You should not be here.
You should not be here. You are in danger.
And so then, now this is, we haven't talked about this, but they tell him to strip. He's going to get raped. Okay. He's going to get raped. They tell him to take off his mask and strip naked. And I think the implication is that he's going to get raped to death in a way that's not good. And then a woman is like, I will go in his place.
Yep.
It's basically fucking Hunger Games. Tribute. She's like, I'll fucking tribute that motherfucker.
That's my favorite scene in the movie, by the way, because this is how they sell it. Oh, sir, your driver wants you in this room. And he goes in that room, and everybody's sitting there, and then there's who was probably running the party, who looks like a demon in and of
Oh,
themselves.
by the way, you know who I think that is?
Who is that?
That's the dude from the beginning who tells, and the end. That's the dude who was raping the girl.
I believe that. Yeah.
And he's the one who tells him at the end, you need to stop, dude.
Yep. And literally it's like, oh yeah, what's the password? And he tells him the password.
Yeah.
And he goes, what's the second password?
And then you, as an audience member, you feel sick.
Oh shit.
Because they're around him, they're up on fucking, they're in like fucking booths and shit.
Other genius move by Kubrick. He right as they come in, he does extreme focus, like cut shots, not like zoom ins, but like cut shots to specific masks showing different emotions.
Yep.
And I'm just like,
There's a shock mask, there's a nothing mask, there's an angry mask.
There's an anger mask.
With horns, there's a devil. Yep. And so the woman who he saved, I mean, it's never implicitly said, but you know it is.
You know it's her.
She's like, I'll go in his fucking place. And they're like, you need to leave here and never speak about this and never come back.
Yep.
So, and then like he goes home and he's fucking bugging out, obviously.
Yep.
And he tells his wife, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure. He tells his wife.
Well, do you know why? Do you remember why he tells her?
The mask on the bed.
Yeah, because they send him a mask. Yeah. And he breaks down and I'll tell you everything.
That's a great, actually, this is one of the only times Tom Cruise actually acted.
That's good.
Like he's great in it. He's a good fucking actor.
Yeah.
And so he sees the mask and he's like, this is too close to home now. He's like, this is fucked up. But this is where the separate theory about the mask begins. There's a separate theory that the mask basically is, give us your daughter. You're in the club now. You're part of the orgy now.
Yep.
This is actually your mask to wear next time.
I'm so glad you brought that up because a lot of people, like when I first watched it, my thought was it was a warning. Like, get the fuck out of our shit.
No, I think
and then he breaks down. But now that I'm older, I see that as an invitation.
Yep. And he cries because he knows it's too late.
Yep.
And so this is where a movie fucks me up, really fucks me up a lot. Like, I have trouble even talking about this part. Everyone interprets shit differently, but I know my interpretation of the end of Eyes Wide Shut is fucking clear as day. They're at the F.E.O. Schwartz place.
Yep.
The daughter, keep in mind, when she's walking around, every time they show her with stuffed animals, she's surrounded by predator stuffed animals. They're lions, they're sharks, they're polar bears, they're orcas, okay? Key shit. Nothing's in a Kubrick film not intentionally.
Yeah,
Nothing.
exactly.
Okay? Now, you see them, and the whole first 5 minutes, they're watching her. Even when they're talking, they're watching her, okay? This ending is so fucking important. They're watching her, okay? And then in the next scene, they're looking at each other. They're not watching her anyway. And she is looking back as she's walking around the corner with two old men, rich old white dudes who have no kids with them. And she's looking back like, really? And they're not looking at her.
And they're talking to themselves, what are we going to do now?
And what are they going to do? She says, we need to fuck now. When I saw that, wait till I give you my theory, bro. When I saw that, I was like, what? When I first saw it, I'll admit, you have to see Eyes Wide Shut 5 times to even get an inkling of what's going on in that film. To get an inkling. First time you watch it, it's just going to fuck with you, and you're going to be like, okay, that happened. What was any of that? There were reviewers who reviewed it like, what was any of that? Which is a shame. I think it's one of his best films, if not...
I agree with that.
If not his best, because there's so much symbolism in there. So, this is what I think happens. They trafficked, that was the deal for the fucking mask. They trafficked their daughter off.
I agree.
And then she's like, we need to fuck to make another one. Oh, bro. Because it's not sexual. She's not like, we need to fuck. She's like, we need to fuck. And it's like, oh, they have to go make another kid.
Yep. And the thing...
And keep in mind, old rich people, like it's said that kids are bred into sex traffic. They're bred into it, dude.
And so, after our summary and the story, some of you may be saying, like, where the fuck is this going? That movie came out 25 years ago.
And that was Diddy's parties, essentially.
Yeah, and those are the type of parties that Diddy had and Weinstein had and all of them, all these fucking horrible people have had.
Yep.
And Kubrick was here 25 years ago, literally with a middle finger movie about it all. And after the first
screening,
the first rough cut,
he dies that night.
He dies.
And they swear, they're like, oh, don't worry, we only edited moments out of the orgy scene. But just
they got rid of others.
He definitely had more hints of who was doing it. You know, I mean,
they gave that fucking film the treatment that they gave Sergio Leone's Once Upon a Time in America.
Yeah, they didn't realize they were watching art.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it took 20 years. That's what they did with The Thing. It's what they've done with a lot of brilliant films.
But I honestly think, I don't think it was career suicide. I think Kubrick was just at a point in his life where he was like, I truly give no fucks anymore.
No, and I think he was sickened by it.
And
dude.
I do too, yeah.
I think he was like, holy fuck. Like, he had a daughter who was trying to direct, and I'm sure he was like, don't fucking do it. Because I know she filmed him making The Shining, and you can watch her like mini documentary, but she doesn't do anything after that. And I bet it's because she saw how her dad was handled in Hollywood.
Yeah. Yeah, he probably was like, listen, if you want to be it, and I'm not saying this to be an egomaniac, I'm saying if you want to go that route, you have to do it how I did it.
Yeah, and it's,
or you are going to pay
you're
for
going to
me.
become one of them. Yeah, yeah,
You're going to pay because of what I did to them.
But it's crazy. And so anytime someone tries to tell the truth, they're silenced. That's why a lot of people think there's not going to be, it's just like the Epstein list, you know? No one got arrested, bro.
No, nothing came out of that.
I don't think anything's going to come out of it. I think Diddy's going to be hung before fucking whatever, because I think that makes the most sense.
Yeah.
I mean, other than that,
what a tragedy. He's gonna kill himself.
But you know what would happen too, right? Because if this shit comes out, guess what we don't have anymore? No one's discussing this.
Yeah.
We don't have a film industry anymore,
Yep.
and we don't have a music industry anymore.
Yeah.
We don't, because those are the fuckers doing it.
I know. But there is a part of me on one side that's like, let you burn.
Let it die.
Like, let it burn. Let you burn to the ground.
Bro,
Because
let it die.
You know? But what about our art? First off, they've raped our art. They're raped.
No, listen.
After they raped everything else.
Let me answer that question, actually. What about our art? It becomes pure again.
Yeah,
The people who start doing art, what you need to understand is graffiti was anti-war stuff. Like, art is existed for a reason. Blues existed because white people were killing black people and shoving them into these little fucking ghettos and little pockets of southern towns. So they invented a music that captured that pathos. You know what I'm saying? So if it gets wiped out, guess what? We get real music again. Ugly musicians. Remember them? Remember Janis Joplin?
Remember Chris Christopherson?
Remember Chris Christopherson, bro? Remember fucking Woody Guthrie? Like, we're talking about just people who looked ugly and made beautiful music, bro. All those people now are
honest music and earnest music.
Anybody who doesn't look like a fucking doll now, if you try to make a record, they're like, nope, you don't got it.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with that.
That's why every pop princess sounds and looks the exact same. Like, I can't do that shit, bro.
I mean, and that's why when we had intern Kelly on.
Yeah.
And she, one of her things was burn it all down. Hey, I'm burning it. Yes, burn it all down.
But your generation needs to do more than say it.
Oh, okay. I see what you did there. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
The empty chair.
Because saying it amounts to nothing, bro.
This is how I attack it. It's along what you're saying. We have to stop just using social media to talk about how upset we are about it and get out and do something about it.
Be proactive. That's all, man.
Yep. I remember having a couple talks with people where I said social media isn't like if you just stay on social media, it just stays on social media.
Yeah.
Like, why was what happened after George Floyd so effective when it was spread through social media?
Forced to watch it.
Because we were forced to watch it, and people actually got out there and let people know in person how upset they were.
Yeah.
That's what changed things.
We've had too many generations now who are like, stuff's not good, but we're not going to do anything about it.
Yeah, but it's the built-in apathy that I think the powers that be want us to have.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
They want you to feel like the issue's too big to even address it, so why start?
There's so many angles we could go. I'm going to go The Descendants, I want to be stereotyped. I want to be classified. Oh, Suburban Home, great song.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what they want of us, and when we willingly do it, that's what ultimately we are convinced that we want from ourselves. And that's what Kubrick was talking about, and that's what has been brought to light by all this bullshit that has come out. Diddy's just the flavor of the week because there's more. Because there's going to be more.
There's going to be
There's going to be another one. Who's the next one to fall? And I hope they're getting scared because they should.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, it was Cat Williams who said 2024 all comes to light. He fucking said it. It was crazy. Everyone's like, he's kind of crazy, but I think a lot of this is true, and that's exactly what it was.
Why do you think it opens up a lot of doors to a lot of things? Like, did Dave Chappelle really go away because he got crazy, or did he go away because he didn't want to get killed or have anything else happen?
No, he fucking, that motherfucker
one
knew.
of as real, if not more real than Cat Williams.
Oh, 100%.
And he got
ran
silenced.
to Africa, bro.
He essentially got silenced.
Yep.
Yeah. For how many years?
You didn't see him or hear from him for at least 4 years, right?
Yeah. I mean, he did the block party.
Yeah.
But I mean, what about stand-up comedy?
No.
A decade-ish? Like,
but that's why when he comes around now, everyone's like, yep, that motherfucker.
Yeah.
But no, he saw shit. He said that. And he said, when I passed up the minstrel contract, Key and Peele took it.
Yep. Yep. Pretty much.
And then you think about everything Cat said, like, oh, yep, they dressed in drag. Yep, they dressed in like fucking. A lot of their shit is embarrassing,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like some of the like smart motherfuckers just like I don't want to play that game.
Mm-hmm.
Just you can go through all these black comedians like, and it's this humiliation ritual that they have to go through, and some motherfuckers just say no to it.
But at least we're getting these awesome movies by Peel.
Yeah, you know what's crazy though? Like, it's crazy to me, okay? I respect that, I love his films, but it's crazy to me. He came out and said, I will never hire a white person. And people are like, cool. Like, okay, man.
Because if it was the opposite, how would that have been met?
Yeah, it's like, how is that not somewhat racist? Like his shit, love his films, will always see him. But I also don't want you to think you're more than you are, bro. You're a movie director.
Yeah.
Like, you're not Martin Luther King Jr. Like, you're a movie director. And I just feel like you saying you won't hire white people is part of the problem we're trying to get rid of.
Mm-hmm.
I just do. Like his work, but I think it's crazy that he can say that and people aren't like, well, that's a little racist, bro. Dial it back. Because if a white director was like, I'm not going to work with black people because there are black directors, people would cut that motherfucker's throat live on Instagram.
But you know what would happen behind the scenes? They would still be able to go to all the white parties they want to.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
And now you got to realize, too, all those times we were hearing about.
And essentially it turns them into Cheers, where everyone knows your name.
Everyone knows your
There's
name.
a laugh track as someone's getting raped or trafficked. Yeah.
But that's like, and there was this movie this year called Blink Twice.
Yeah.
That Zoe Kravitz made. And I'm 100% convinced that movie is, see it if you get a chance. I don't want to ruin it, but it's basically.
Semi-autobiographical or biographical?
I think it's a puffy party confession movie.
I will have to check that out.
Yeah, like the movie, halfway through the movie, you're like, oh shit, that's what this is about. I was like watching the first half. I was like, oh, cool. And then you see a scene in the middle. You're like, holy fuck. Yeah, but it's brave. Now, put it this way. I was watching it like, and the puffy rumors were starting. And now they've fully come out, and I'm like, holy shit. It's that story. It's a rich dude who brings people out to an island to party, drugs them.
And all the chicanery ensues.
And they don't hold it back, bro. Like, they don't hold it back. But it's like, but that could be, she was a beautiful girl coming up in it. But she came to on a couch on a fucking couple occasions with her top fucking open, bro. It's like, holy shit. But we have to understand that systematically, this was allowed.
Yeah, and it's still allowed. Let's not bullshit ourselves.
It's only just being called out. This is how it was, bro. Carrie Fisher came out and said, I slept with George Lucas to be in Star Wars. She said that during an award show, bro.
And then what happens later on in her life?
Drug addiction.
Listen, I understand how people are going to spin it, that she willingly ended up with Paul Simon.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No, that was crazy.
Nope.
He abused the shit out of her.
Yep.
And she was fine. Carrie Fisher was fine.
And if you've never saw her comedy bits or her speaking word stuff,
she's brilliant.
She's brilliant, and it's like heartbreaking to hear her.
Postcards from the Edge. Read that book.
Mm-hmm.
She wrote that book about being in Hollywood, and it's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's funny, right? Because the life that people idolized for so long, now people are finding like, I don't want to be anywhere near that.
Yeah.
There's no amount of money. No amount of money.
And I get a lot of stuff on my Facebook feed about that. Like, oh, if you could meet one celebrity, and it's like, I don't want to meet celebrities.
Oh, man,
no.
what is that?
No, I don't want to meet celebrities.
We're out of that phase in society, right? I like your music. That just means I like your music. I don't want to shake your hand, dude. I have no interest in that. Like, if I like your movie, I like your movie. You know what I'm saying? But
great job.
Our generation made it a problem, though.
Mm-hmm.
We made celebrity worship a problem.
Yeah.
We watched Entertainment Tonight. We let all those magazines come out. We loved that
Talk
shit.
Soup,
We loved it.
VH1 when VH1 and then MTV, and that just goes on and on and on and on and on. Yeah. And we are just our appetite was endless for it.
And now
especially in our formative years.
We're all poor. We're all frustrated financially. We're all frustrated in our relationships.
See how this goes, people? We bring it back full circle.
Yeah.
And now we're all like Tyler Durden. Because we are.
No, we really are. We're fucking pissed off, bro.
Yeah,
but
we're the middle children of history, and we're very pissed off.
We're very pissed off about it, man.
Yep.
You know? Fuck yeah.
Ah, this felt great.
Yeah, man. We'll just start doing this every Sunday again.
Yeah, this felt great. I don't know about you, but the weight is at least off me for a little bit. This was great because it just gives us stuff to focus on.
I need it, man.
I needed this too.
And like, that's the thing. Dude, you sent me and Bobby loose on a good fucking category, on a good choice, on a good discussion, bro,
Yep.
we'll spin like a top for days.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I will say this to kind of culminate this. I'm really happy and excited that a lot of the people who have been terrible, monstrous, fucking predators are being brought to light.
Yep, they got their comeuppance.
Like, either way, regardless of what happens, Diddy's in jail right now. That's a fucking win. That's a fucking win. You know what I'm saying? And imagine this. You're P. Diddy. You're in jail. That's gotta suck.
Isn't he
bro.
in like Sing Sing?
I'd be fucking
Like
with
it's not
him.
or Rikers.
No, I think it's Rikers.
Like it's not like he's in plush jail.
No, he's not in one of them
fucking
cupcake.
Rikers.
He's not
Like,
in Camp Cupcake, dude.
No.
And I'm sorry, dude. If Diddy was in jail with me, I would fuck with him so bad.
Mhm.
I'd be like, hey, little pee-pee Diddy. Hey, pee-pee Diddy. You know what I'm saying? I'd be fucking with him. And he's got such an ego that, I just wish we could see a video of him getting fucked with at like lunchtime in prison. Because fuck you, man. Like, fuck you victimizing children and like.
I would love to just see someone take his tray and then literally be like, ain't no one gonna take my pride. Ain't no one gonna hold. And then everyone chimes in.
Ain't
Oh
no one
no, I got to
keep on moving. They're just stomping him.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it ain't gonna be fun for him. And I'm hoping, I have some real strong theories about Jay-Z and Beyonce. There's a couple dead bodies in their past.
I hope we hear from Mace.
Oh no, Mace did his thing. Think about
No, I mean, I hope he comes back and he's now willing to be
he's
like.
back. He's
to-
doing a podcast right now.
Oh God, dude.
But he says,
Yep.
But this is all he'll say about it. He'll say, "Yeah, I was with I was with P. Diddy for a couple years. Then I became a priest." That tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
Same thing with Bieber. Remember, right after Bieber dealt with fucking Diddy, he found that young fucking priest guy.
Yep.
He got baptized. He was going to Sunday service. Like, they find God in this darkness because, trust me, I don't care if you believe or not, the person they're dealing with is the devil, bro. That's that sign your life away. That's that motherfucker. Trump signed his name on the line. That's why bullets skid off his greasy ass fucking head. You got the deal. You got the deal, bro.
A friend of the devil is a friend of mine.
That's what, well, no, not in that case, but
Yeah, for them.
but that's what it is. I'm just saying, and a lot of these people have danced with the devil for too long, and I want that. I want the Hollywood sign to burn, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I want it to burn. I want it to be turned into like a fucking wasteland. I want it to go out to sea. I really do.
Oh, that's very toolish.
Tool.
It's very toolish.
I think
of you.
about that a lot.
Yep.
Just break off, go away. No one will miss you.
Yep.
No one will.
Because we could sure use a vacation from this bullshit three-ring circus.
Yo, we love you. For those
Yes,
of
we
you
do.
coming back, we
Thank
missed you. We missed
Thank
this.
you to like the 150 people who have listened to the podcast since like the last episode.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people. Yeah. Thank you.
We got loyal people, man, and those are the people we're here for.
Appreciate you all. Appreciate
you
the
know
people who
what?
checked in and were like, hey, what's going on? You guys good? Yeah.
Hit us up, man. Hit us up with some ideas. Let us know what you think about this episode. Let us know what you think
Yep.
about Eyes Wide Shut. Let us know if there's any other movies you guys would like us to deep dive, because we love doing that.
Yep. Shout outs to my people I know, my friends who are down in the Carolinas, who are down in Florida.
My sister.
Who have had to deal with
My
the
godmother.
hurricanes, and they're doing the best they can. And also the people I know that are tradesmen who have gone down to Florida to help clean it up and help get them back electricity and stuff.
Listen, this world is ending.
It's
It
just a
is.
matter of how for you specifically.
No, and like it could take 150 years, but all these superstorms, this predator shit, this is it, baby. This is the last section of the Bible, and shit gets hairy.
You know what I'm waiting for? I'm waiting for a group like the League of Shadows to just like tear it all down.
Or just at least like enunciate me, bring me
Yeah,
into your fucking
exactly.
group, bro.
Do you want to be a part of do you want to be one of the many, or do you want to be one of the select few? At this point, kind of want to be one of the select few.
And I want to be a fucking ninja, bro.
Yeah.
I didn't say that like I was talking. I was like, a fucking ninja, bro. I was excited. I wasn't being racist. just want to let everybody know. We don't do Asian voices in this house.
No, we don't. No. All right, Rem. So until next time, great to talk to you. Great
Yeah,
to
man,
see
I
you as
missed you,
always.
bro.
Great to get back on here, and we look forward to doing more content for you in the future.
Let it rain, baby.
All right, take care, everybody.